Well, that's great. I think that's the best way to live your life as a YouTube celebrity is to always try to start your day at like noon.
Yeah, the crack of noon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crack of noon. You get like 4 to 6 hours of daylight. You call it. Go to bed. Go
If
back to
I could
bed.
just if I could just find a way to get rid of that daylight,
Mm,
it'd be so much
yeah.
better.
All right, so let's take
'Cause-
some questions.
Okay.
Let's get down to business. Ooh, I like that.
Questions.
Let's both do
Questions.
that. That's
Yay.
nice.
It's time for
Actually,
questions.
somebody asked you a
Look,
question.
I could just yammer on endlessly and just touch upon nothing of substance. And that would be just fine with me, but we can
I
answer questions if you prefer.
I actually think touching on nothing of substance is in store whether you ask questions or not.
That's
I
probably
think.
true.
Well, somebody actually asked you a question like 30 minutes ago on Twitter, and I actually told them they needed to calm down and try again in 30 minutes. Or I was going to say that, but then I thought maybe I would be nice. And oh man, that's so not water, TJ. That's just straight like grain alcohol, isn't it? Bottle. So their question was, let me pull it up here. Uh, have you ever been asked to go on a talk show like Jon Stewart or Bill
Yeah,
O'Reilly? And if so, would you do
yeah,
it?
fuck. I was invited by a YouTube user named Onision, who
That's
is
a
kind
great
of
name.
a famous drama whore on YouTube, who's been involved in like, I don't know, 1,001 crazy dramas. And he said he and I were I guess we're natural enemies in his mind because he invited me to go on the Steve Wilkos show with him.
Is
And
that like the
Steve
guy that
Wilkos,
used to do Jerry
that's like
Springer?
that's like yeah. I mean, it's a very Jerry Springer like show. I don't know anything about the guy. I know
Yeah.
he was like a military fucking so
Yeah.
drill sergeant type. So he has a show where he fucking interviews dysfunctional fucking people and they like throw chairs at each other and shit.
That's
So I
right
was
up your alley.
but I was like, I don't know, fuck that. I can't be part of that. I mean, like, even I have some standard where I'm like, no, 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 don't want part of that. Because I mean, like, I had a former friend of mine, a guy named, I mean, I called him Case. He was better known on YouTube as Fake Sagan. But
Okay.
anyway, we used to be friends, but he's fucking crazy fuck, so I ain't friends with him anymore. But the fucking point of the story is like he auditioned to be on a reality show, and he got on this fucking reality show.
Well,
It was like,
we're talking Sagan, your friend.
yeah, this
Audition,
guy
okay.
he got on this fucking reality show called I mean, like, I don't know, fucking some wedding show on fucking women's entertainment, and his shtick was that he played, because I mean it's all bullshit. It's nothing to do with reality. He played this character called I don't remember the name of his fucking character, but basically it was like a reality show, and he was having a satanic wedding, and there was like this thing where he's like, I want to dedicate this wedding to Satan, so I'm just sitting there like, man,
Yeah.
it's just sad to see someone I know just being part of this and like, yeah, I'm just gonna lie about who I am and like fucking feed my life to these gluttonous vultures for like $500.
And so obviously you did not go on that show. You did not go
Well,
on
I did
that.
not go on the Steve Wilkos show. I didn't go on that. That's pretty much the only time I've ever been offered to go on a TV show. So
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I would hope that you would go on it and like maybe just invent a whole storyline for yourself about like what white trash you aren't actually and just see how people react to that. Maybe wear that helmet when you're in there, but we'll see. We have tons of other questions, by the way. They're actually going faster than I have time to look at them. Let's see. TJ,
it's like
what
a
do you
rolling
think
credit.
really fast and like stop the mouse on one and that'll be the one. TJ, what do you think of karma? Do you believe that people who do bad things have the bad emotions put on them and vice versa? Why or why not? And that is from Trashed and Scattered D.
Well, I mean, cursory glance around the world will tell you that's not true. I mean, if you believe in karma, you got to look at everyone that's like a starving, AIDS-infested fucking Africa and be like, well, he must deserve it.
Yeah,
He
he's
must
clearly
have
done a lot of bad
something,
things.
you know. And then you got to look at people like fucking Karl Rove and be like, well, you know, he must have been real good at some point to have all this wealth and fucking power, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not true. I mean, okay, there's no karma. It's not gonna balance itself out. I mean, it's a very comforting thought. We all wish it were true, but it's not.
It's true. It is true. There is no way that you could possibly excuse karma. Well, I guess the people that believe in karma also believe in reincarnation, so you could argue that those people suffering were real bastards in a previous life, and now they've been reborn at that. But that's a hard system
Well, I mean, like,
to really work with.
What happened in Karl Rove's previous life? Like, he was this great guy, and then he was reborn in this life with wealth and privilege. Like, you know what? Now I'm gonna be evil. I just gamed the karma system. I did this fake niceness for several lifetimes, and now I'm gonna be fucking crazy and evil. I'm just gonna turn the fucking corner, you know.
And yeah, and then
He was Gandhi in a past life and shit.
he's such a natural bastard too that even finally given the chance to have like a successful, powerful life, he just turns it into this pile of shit that we see today. So that's
if there was such a thing as karma, one of Dick Cheney's heart attacks actually would have got him. You know, there's no fucking karma. I'm sorry.
All right, changing gears, going into entertainment. GBU fan, or maybe that's Gaboo fan. I don't really know. GBU fan 100 asks, "What do you think about Tom Hardy playing the new Mad Max?" I didn't even hear that was being discussed, so that's news to me.
Oh, I think it's actually gotten to the point of being greenlit. I mean, it's the same director that directed the original films, but I mean, the stuff he's directed in the meantime has been all kids movies. Like I think he directed Happy Feet and the sequel, so
that's going to be amazing.
You know, I hope that they incorporate some Happy Feet elements into the next Mad Max. You know, Mad Max could like blow up some penguins or something. I don't know.
Could you? I mean, what would Mad Max be like if it were kind of a kids movie? What was that, like Spies? That stupid kids movie, like Spies 3D or something? Could be
Kids,
awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that was
Kids.
directed by Ramirez, who fucking directs all the like Sin City and shit too. So that's another example of a guy who directs either ultra violent movies or kids movies. It's very strange. I guess these guys, they have like this soft underbelly. Like, I'm tired of showing people get maimed and killed. I'm gonna direct something for kids.
Just this one time.
Bright colors and happy faces.
I feel like it's probably that they have
But
kids
I think
themselves.
Tom Hardy could do well in the role. I mean, I don't think that the role was ever like. I don't really think of that role as belonging to Mel Gibson in the way that like some other iconic, you know, action heroes. Like, you could never recast like John McClane or something, but I think you could recast Mad Max.
I think it could work. I hope it doesn't become like some sort of 007 thing. Like, the new Mad Max is going to be this guy this year for this movie.
Well, I mean, everything has to be grittier now. I mean, they got to do it like it's, you know, it's like the old Mad Max, but now it's fucking ultra gritty and everything is really crisp on the screen, and like everything is like really intense and there's no actual conversations. It's just like fucking shit for the trailer, like you know, like, and they'll fucking, you know, cut it together. And
it would actually be kind of amazing if they did like a shot-for-shot remake of Mad Max. Like, they didn't put anything new, same script and everything. They just shot it with better equipment and tried to sell it. Maybe it could be an art film. You don't know.
I mean, that's happened before. I mean, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was like a shot-for-shot remake of fucking Yojimbo or Sanjiro. I can never.
Right.
I don't remember which one of those it was, but it was one of those two. And then there was that awful fucking Psycho remake where they did it with like Vince Vaughn and shit, which I don't know about that, but that was a shot-for-shot remake as well.
Hey, this is a great question from the comment section. Chemical Paint 9981 asks, "Are they reading these from the comment section?"
I don't know. It's a mystery. We gotta get Sherlock Holmes on this shit.
That's his only question. He's never gonna get another one. What a waste. Better one. What are some absurd common events in politics? In other words, what did you watch on the news today?
Oh, I didn't watch any news today. I didn't even read any news today. I kind of had like, because my normal day just consists of like, what's going on in the Huffington Post? What's going on Reddit? What's going on in BuzzFeed? I'd be like, I need to fucking know everything that's going on. But today I was just like, fuck that shit. I don't care, you know?
Well, you woke up at 11 o'clock, you know?
Yeah, you know.
That's half the day.
That's normal, though. But I mean, I can't, I don't want to be trying to figure the world out today. I just had a day of like, I'm going to rest and not think and, you know.
Let's see. MGK Pecky. TJ, you're from Louisiana. Have you ever seen the show True Blood, and do you like it?
I saw like 10 minutes of True Blood once, and I was like, is this a real show for like grown-ups? Because
Yes, it is.
I really felt like I was watching something that like was specifically geared towards 12-year-olds that just happened to have access to the TV at that moment.
And yet has like violent
Yeah, but it
sex
has like the
scenes.
tits and violence, but like it's all. I mean, like the show. I think if I'd have seen it when I was like 13, I'd be like, "This is the best show. This is fucking great," because it's just like blood and tits and fucking explosions and vampires and shit, and it's just crazy. But watching it like now, it just seems way over the fucking top. I can't get into it.
TJ, Zafin6669 asks, "What are your feelings on Scientology?" Wait, I'm gonna guess on this one. Of all the religions, that's the one that you're okay with.
That is
Clearly.
the one. That's the fucking one.
Because it's the newest.
Weird little known fact is that my father was a Scientologist, so I actually know a little bit about Scientology from that perspective.
What do you know about Scientology? Take a drink. You're gonna need it. Lubricate.
I don't really know that much about it because he was more like affiliated with the church in like the 80s, and he kind of didn't like the direction they went in, I guess. So he didn't really talk too much about it, but I knew that he still held to that. I mean, it was very. I mean, he had some kind of. There was like a little bit of strange rhetoric. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what of the stuff that he said to me that was strange was related to Scientology. I don't know what was just like him doing it, because like my dad was he was a religious guy in a very strange way, because he would take little elements from all these religions and just sort of cobble them together and be like in a patchwork of like, and it was really just because like he wanted to be able to do whatever he wanted and not have to answer to any sort of God, but he still wanted to have the afterlife deal. So he's just like, okay, well this is true, this is bullshit. I'm gonna take this from Eastern philosophy. I'm gonna take this from Scientology. I'm gonna put them all together in a pot and be like, okay, this is my religion.
I can see the logic in that too, because it's like you're kind of just avraging all the religions into one gray area.
Just you just want that afterlife package. It's like death, and it's like afterlife insurance basically. Like you got to make sure you're covered by somebody.
Just the Mad Lib 19 seconds ago, so I'm really on the ball here. I'm reading these comments as they come in. Who is your favorite YouTube besides yourself? Which, first of all, they just assumed that you thought your favorite YouTube was yours, so they had to.
They're right. I mean, I don't know. I don't really. The sad fact is, I really don't have the time to watch anyone else regularly, and a lot of the people I used to watch regularly stopped making videos, and I just haven't had the time to get anyone new. So, was there a certain YouTube that like kind of inspired you to get into YouTube? Like, was there somebody that you used to watch? I don't want to honestly answer that question because it's someone that today just has a very bad reputation, so I wouldn't even want to give them credit. So you were like watching Karl Rove's YouTube, like just totally loving it. Pretty much, like it's almost the equivalent of that. Katie Ryan, this is a this is an interesting one. Holy shit. Katie Ryan wants to know, do you think a high school education is necessary in life? I don't know. I didn't need one, so I mean, the thing about high school is like there's no job that high school qualifies you for that you can't get as a dropout. So I mean, like some college could be beneficial, but you really don't even need to complete high school to go to college. I mean, if you have the equivalency, you can still get accepted into college with a strong enough ACT or SAT. So. I mean, you don't really need to finish fucking high school. They're not. They're not really teaching anyone anything fucking amazing over there. At least I never fucking. I mean, I don't know though, because I went to high school mostly in Louisiana, which is just a fucking ass backward state. When I was going to public school in Washington, it was a lot better. I probably would have stayed in school if I'd have stayed in that state. But then when I came here, and it was like they didn't give a shit about teaching me anything. They just gave a shit about like, oh, your hair's too long. Make sure that's fucking cut. I mean, right. Yeah, it's a lot of, hey, learn how to conform, and then we'll send you on to the next step. That was pretty much it. So that's why I just ended up leaving, because, I mean, I had no option other than it's either Louisiana public school or I'm just going to leave. And I decided to leave. I was accepted into some colleges on the strength of my ACTs. I never actually took an SAT, but I didn't ever go. So
Fair enough. Flight 39 band. First of all, I would love to say that all of you guys asking great comments in the comments section, and I'm sorry, great questions in the comments section, and that's awesome. If any of you are brave enough to actually join us on this Google Plus Hangout and get on video, you're more than welcome to drop your Google Plus email in the comments section on YouTube, and I will send the invitation, and things will get weird here on the Google Plus Hangout. But in the meantime, Flight 39 Band 2 minutes ago asks, what are your views on fiscal cliff negotiations as of late? Are some of the Republicans backing off of Grover Norquist's tax pledge?
I made a resolution probably about a week ago that I wasn't going to pay attention to any of the negotiations and just wait until there was a resolution.
What do you think about the term fiscal cliff? I think it sounds fun. I'm kind of excited about it.
Well, I mean, you know, the fiscal cliff, I mean, how does anyone know? I mean, the economy is fickle. It doesn't always respond the way we think it does. If it did, there would never be a crash.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to act like you know what's coming is just bullshit.
I'm just worried that, you know, it's like it always is. They're going to talk about the fiscal cliff like they talked about Y2K, where it's going to be this like big disaster, and then it actually happens. And if it is going to be a problem, it's like a very gradual problem. It's not going to be like suddenly everything grinds to a halt and we're all starving in the streets.
I think Ron Paul is crazy, but one thing I actually agree with him on is that, you know, we have to let our market undergo adjustments sometimes. You know, you can't just you can't hold it up artificially forever. Eventually, you have to let it go back to where it was. You know, it's like I was watching Real Time with Bill Maher a few weeks ago, and they were talking about the housing bubble and how after the housing bubble popped in California, people now are still trying to live like the bubble still exists. That's their standard. Like, we got to get back to when we had the bubble. It's like, no, you don't have to get back there because that was fucking artificial. You have to be where you actually are.
Yeah, I'm gonna warn you, TJ. I just invited somebody onto our Hangout. Their username is Friedrich Nietzsche 25, so that's like a good hint as to what we're expecting here. Who knows if they're gonna actually join?
I would like to ask a question.
Yeah, I think we could just start with the concept of the Ubermensch and then just move on from there. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows if they actually will join? But if they do, and a warning to the rest of you guys out there. If you suck, we just eject you. There's totally no
fuck out of here. Yeah.
There is no fairness here. I have an eject button. In the meantime, we're gonna take more questions. I'm looking through them here. A bunch of people just posted their email addresses to join the Hangout, as if they weren't like paying attention to the last 24 hours.
People,
but
send them fucking dick emails like increase the size of your cock.
Yeah, what they don't know is this is just a big scam to get all their email addresses. I then, sell these later. Oh, we got a Richard Campbell. Whoa. Richard. Here he is. Oh, this is just a big scam to get all their email addresses. I then, sell we got a delay. Okay, we're going to all be quiet, and we're going to ask Richard, please ask your question. Big scam to get all their email addresses.
Okay, here's my question.
Okay, we're going to all be quiet, and we're going to ask Richard, please ask your question.
All right. Here's my question.
Richard, you gotta turn. I'm muting you. You gotta turn your laptop sound off. We got like the craziest echo in the world. It's like a 20-second delay. So I'm gonna keep him muted for a second while he stares down at the
going
screen
well.
Badly. It's going brilliantly.
Setting a good first precedent.
All right. The Amazing Atheist.
Yes.
What do you think about socialism?
Nice question.
Socialism. Okay. Well, probably want to mute him there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like a vague question at this point, especially when the definition of socialism has been so muddied, particularly by the Republican Party, especially the Tea Party element that's basically decided that socialism is any government program other than military. So. I mean, I don't know what socialism exactly even is supposed to mean anymore. I think it's kind of just become another one of those meaningless phrases. That's the problem with politics, is that definitions become so superficial so quickly because you start using it as an attack. It's like, oh, you're a socialist and you're a communist. Oh yeah, well you're a fucking conservative and you're a fucking nut job, and and so of course all the labels just become totally diluted and meaningless. So I'm if you're just talking about the creation of social programs that are beneficial and create a social safety net, then I'm pro-socialist. If that's what socialism is now, then I'm a fucking socialist. But I don't think that that's what socialism traditionally has been.
That's a good question. I ejected him, by the way. I figure, you asked your question, you get it out there, and then I just kick you out. I don't know if that's polite or the way it should be, but that's the way I did it.
It seems like that's the way it's gonna work.
I think it's got to. I don't know. Let's see. Misanthropedia 2 minutes ago asks a simple question: cocks or cats?
Cocks or cats?
Oh, I thought you answered
okay,
cocks.
I
got
get
really
it.
excited.
I see. All right, it was because the reversal is different, It's a different binary.
There's no need to actually answer. I think
Yeah,
it's pretty clear what we all prefer.
It's kind of like okay.
I just like all these usernames. I think that's my favorite part.
Misanthropedia is a pretty good name.
Yeah, and this one's even better. The Mr. Buttable asks, TJ, how do you feel about MSNBC? Do you think it's the counter to Fox News or no?
It does counteract a lot of what Fox News says. I don't think the bias is nearly as bad on MSNBC as the bias is on Fox News. I think that MSNBC definitely has a strong liberal bias, but I've never really felt like it was functioning as like the liberal wing of the Republican Party. Like this is an official media company of this party. Because it seems like on Fox News there's just no criticism of the right whatsoever. I mean, it just
unless they're like just starting to say things that aren't right enough, then they label them a Democrat.
It's like, what the fuck? But I don't know. That could just be because I'm a liberal. So when I watch MSNBC, I'm sitting there like, yeah, I agree with that. I mostly agree with that. I'm not like cookie cutter everything they say, but I mostly agree with them. So maybe I just don't see the bias as much as I would if I were someone that was on the right.
Right. John Peponis 3 minutes ago asks, hey TJ, can you talk about your feelings on and influence from Christopher Hitchens? Which is a good question.
Yeah, Hitchens. I've always wanted that kind of respect, I guess, on some level. Like, yeah, I'd love to be that fucking just off the cuff brilliant, but sometimes in my head I can get there, but speaking aloud, I'm just like, yeah, fuck. 1 minute. I've always kind of aspired to that, I guess, on some level, to have that level of rhetoric where I can just spontaneously weave these complex, sentences and these really, airtight arguments that just, as you can see, I can't do it. But I wish I could. So, it gives me something to aspire to, that's for sure. I wouldn't say that Christopher Hitchens is any kind of direct influence. I don't think I've really borrowed it very heavily from Hitchens like I have from someone like George Carlin or Bill Hicks or someone like that.
Do you read a lot of Hitchens' work, or have you ever?
Yeah, I have. I've been listening to an audio book of Hitch 22, which is his autobiography. I've also read most of God damn it, his atheist book. I don't remember the fucking title. It was like,
is it the yellow one?
How religion poisons everything.
Yeah. God is not great.
That's the fucking title. Yeah, God is
not.
I
saw that
great.
one and I was like, okay, I agree. I don't need to read it. I got it. Everything.
That's pretty much. That's pretty much how I felt, because every time I read one of these atheist books, I'm like, yeah, I was kind of arguing the atheism Christianity thing on the internet when I was like 12. So, everything in these books is something I've heard before, and so I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, this is good if you're like some agnostic or some shit, but for me, I don't need it.
Okay, Foil Demon 7892. I don't know if that's like tinfoil hat demon or what.
I can just see a guy wrapped in tinfoil with like some devil horns fashioned. They're like, I am the foil demon.
He asks, TJ, if you could be a guest on any TV show, what TV show would you be on? Clearly the Steve Wilkos show, obviously.
I just be on. I don't fuck that talk show shit. I want to be a kill on Dexter. I'll be like, you know, I want to fucking be stabbed by Michael C. Hall through my.
What would you want to have done? Like, what would be your crime that gets you killed by Michael C. Hall?
I don't know, because I can't say anything, because then it's gonna be like, oh, that's what he really desires on some deep, dark psychological level. So I'm not even fucking with that. Let the writers come up with something.
Would you want to be like yourself on that show? Like people are like, oh, it's TJ.
I could be like some YouTube guy that, like, you know, fucking fans write me like, yeah, why don't you come hang out sometime? And then I just like bludgeon them with hammers and shit. And then Dexter's like, you know, he fucking puts it all together. And then the next thing I know, I'm like laying on the table and all my fucking Amazing Atheist videos are playing on screens all around me. And I'm like, oh my God.
Suddenly, like, Dexter's really religious and he's like, look at your crimes. It would be perfect. He could probably get you to show up by like being all like, hey, TJ, come to my Google Plus Hangout. And then you just somehow show up at his house, drugged. Dimitri1171, if someone tried to rob you at gunpoint and you stabbed them to protect yourself, would you then call them an ambulance? How about that? How about that for a moral quandary?
No. I'm too angry. Like, by my very nature, I'm just like a rage beast. So, I mean, like, if I start stabbing someone, it's going to be like, I'm going to be having to explain to the police why I stabbed them 700 times. I mean, I'm just fucking, I have...
too much rage. You have too much rage.
That's why I try to stay in. I try to stay in. This is like, I treat my house like a cage, because if I go out there in the world too much, I'll build up too much anger.
L.R. Jared, I like this question. It's a lot. It's a loaded question, but the end part is the part that matters. In the court case Miranda versus Arizona in 1966, it became mandatory by law to read those arrested their rights. Do you agree, or is this pandering to the stupid?
God, I've never really thought about it. I don't know.
I think it's all right. Read
yeah, I mean,
their
it's
rights.
fine.
Big
Like,
deal.
why? I mean, I have nothing against it. I mean, why would you? But I mean, I've never really thought about it. Like, I mean, you pretty much know when the cops arrest you, like, what your rights are. I mean, you know, it's not like you're confused. Like, you know, we're gonna put you in a fucking box, and you know, you'll get like some meals, and you know, maybe like a lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't seen Cops? Come on, we get it. We have that shit memorized.
Yeah,
Movie Maker's 24.
Make kids recite it like the pledge, you know. I have the right to remain, you know. Just drill it in their fucking heads.
That's
so
a
you don't have to
really
explain it later on.
terrifying vision of a police state when, like, kindergarten, we're like, all right, kids, we're going to learn the alphabet, and then we're going to learn our Miranda rights.
I remember I knew one of my fucking one of my nieces is in, well, she's older now, but back in the day she was in some crazy fucking Christian school where they made them pledge allegiance first to the flag, then to the Bible, and then to Jesus.
Oh yeah,
so
that's a
they had
good
to do
hierarchy.
3 pledges. Yeah, you know.
I actually like that Jesus is third place behind the flag and the Bible. That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. I just had one highlighted. Where was it? Movie Maker's 2468. What would happen if somebody left a baby at your doorstep?
I don't know. That would be bad, though, because I imagine I have to contact the fucking authorities and shit.
And they'd probably think that you did it. Somehow you were involved.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, people are just going to be like, that's suspicious that would happen. You know? So it's going to be fucking bad. Don't leave babies at my door, please.
This isn't a question to be taken seriously, but I like that this guy just asks, from movies? ? That's... It's not even a grammatical question.
From movies?
From movies?
From...
I don't know.
From movies. I don't know. It's like
from
a
movies.
Mind-bending.
We should just...
question.
I'm going to save that question and append it to other questions later.
I should get that as a tattoo. It should just be like, from movies? You'd be like, what the fuck is with your...
Ooh.
Like a great sage once said this.
You have to do it like you have to be really like esoteric about it and get like from movies but in Latin. I don't even know if that would be, but some other language so it looks deep. I don't know.
From a cinematus, you know.
Chad Quant 3 minutes ago asked TJ, would you be interested in freezing your head to be woken up cryogenically in the future after you die?
Well, if my head is going to be reanimated, I'm not really like dead, I guess, you know. Because dead has some finality to it. That was just like, if I die and then come back, then the death wasn't really a death. It was just like, you know, a little vacation away from life.
Would you do it? I would do it.
I don't see why not, especially if I can get some badass cyborg body. Like,
and it's like, I mean, worst case scenario, you get unfrozen and it kind of sucks. Like the world kind of sucks, and then you just die again. Like,
yeah,
why not
like,
get
at least
that?
you get to see how it all went to shit. Like, yeah, I knew it was going to be like this.
Yeah, get me to a library.
You know what would
Wheel me
suck for
over
me?
there.
What would suck more for me is if I got to the future and everything was great, and they fucking like, yeah, we saw those videos you made. You were wrong, fucker. Humanity made it. Piece of shit. Fucking cynical bastard.
We write about you in our books now. We remember the TJ from years back, and we talk about how wrong he was on this thing called YouTube.
Yeah, I'll be like, you know, they'll be like, whenever someone's like really wrong about something, like, oh, he's pulling an amazing atheist. So wrong.
Now I think some of your commenters have taken to flagging other people's comments as spam to eliminate them so that their comments float to the top.
My question will reign supreme.
So I'm
Ask
going
me
to
one of the spam questions.
Yeah, I'm getting into the spam here. I want to know what it's all about because they're actually meaningful questions. The Adam Freeberg, do you think we could ever see universal health care in the United States in the near future? And if that were spam, it would be like, click here for free health care in the United States. But that's not what the question was.
No one would click that. You got to fucking promise them a bigger dick. Universal dick care. Maybe that would get their attention. I don't know. You know, Obamacare is a good first step. I mean, if we could get a public option sometime in the future, if we could get stronger regulations against the insurance companies. I mean, because plenty of companies are using a similar system to this. I believe Germany has a system where you have private mandated, and you know there's strong regulation of the insurance industry.
Yeah,
I think Japan has a similar system. So I mean, this could potentially lead to universal coverage, which is why you know is one of the few reasons that I said was a valid reason for voting for Obama over Romney, because that does have the potential to give us an inroad in universal health care. Yeah.
What about let's see.
I'm conflicted on the universal health care issue though too, because you know I hate everybody. So like part of me is just
why should you subsidize
am I trying to save these fucking people? Bunch of fucking cocksuckers. Ugh. Yeah,
but there's thousands of people just like you, TJ, that are like, I hate everybody, and then you're in the hospital, and they're like, fuck it.
That's the
thing.
Let me watch his videos and see if he's worth anything. I gotta stand with my fellow cynical assholes. We gotta make sure our society takes care of us.
Hey, you could always form your own government. That could be interesting.
No, we need Obama to give us handouts.
There was a good question scrolling down here. What happens is I get no comments for some time, and then they come in like this huge wave, and then I have to click through them and pretend I'm listening to you while I'm actually reading comments. Let's see. What's a good one? And I have to pre-read them so I don't ask you something awful. Sandblasted Black PR is the username, and it is. Do you think
that sounds like an '80s song? Sandblasted Black PR. Kick your ass, he's a superstar.
Oh well, I think that's our next hangout right now. Is freestyle songwriting with TJ Kirk.
Yeah.
Do you think masturbation is like junk food, where it's okay to have it from time to time, but it's not really healthy to do it in frequency? Question mark.
I've never heard any medical doctor or anyone like that has any credibility saying that masturbation is at all harmful, ever. I mean, I guess if you're jerking off, like when you start coming blood, then you've gone too far. Till then, I think you're okay. You know, as long as your dick isn't chafing, you're
probably going to be all right.
Yeah.
And then you're going to need universal health care to get that shit checked out. Or dick care, rather.
Universal dick care. It's going to be a thing.
Zaffin6669 asks,
That should be
TJ,
trending on Twitter right now. Universal dick care.
Let's make it happen, guys. Come on, we can make this happen.
Universal dick care.
You've got 300 comments so far. Everyone do it all at the same time. It'll at least trend somewhere in, like, I don't know, some smaller country. It'll
trend
be like
in Micronesia.
trending.
Who knows? Let's go. I don't even know if that's a country.
Zaffin6669 asks, TJ, what was the worst day of your life thus far? And now I'm going to append the question, from movies?
The best day of my life so far from movie?
It was actually the worst day of your life so far, but go with the best day of your life so far from movies. Really, just what was the best movie you ever saw?
Oh,
I
don't
totally
know.
Fuck that guy's question up.
Like, fuck his question. I don't want to. No one wants to hear that depressing shit. Let's fucking stick with the positive. Seeing Kill Bill in the theaters for the first time was probably my best movie-going experience. It's not my favorite movie of all time, but it was definitely the most fun I've ever had at the theater.
Yeah, I think there was more audible oh shits uttered from me in that movie because I felt like it was appropriate to just be like, oh shit. Like every
And it's
moment.
just like, you know, like, okay, they throw fucking, okay, there's no logic, reason, blah, 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 all that shit. Continuity, fuck that. Nothing matters. Let's just fucking awesomeness. Let's let nothing get in the way of the sheer awesomeness. And that's the fucking movie. And I love it. It works. Quentin Tarantino. You know, he was the first guy to realize that rather than trying to be original and sucking, just steal from everyone and then just create something. Because, like, at the end of the day, it's your own creation because you're the one that saw what things could fit together in a different way. So, I mean, you're still a true artist. Why not fucking just outright steal shit from people? As long as you steal from enough sources, no one's going to care.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like half of his movie is just like, hey guys, look at all the movies I know about. Like, look at all the references I can make. But hey, they're good films. I can't wait for Django Unchained. I'm so ready to break my record for, oh, fuck, like every 2 seconds. Let's see. TJ, do you believe in aliens? Said by Mr. Hard Cash.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I probably do. I mean, there's such a large universe. It seems like it's pretty unlikely that we'd be the only fucking living organisms out there.
Do you think they know we exist?
No, I don't think so.
No, I already asked. I already got a question from the Mr. Buttable, and as much as I love that name, you know, I gotta be.
We can't make a fucking
somewhat...
80s song out of that name, so fuck him. Get out of here.
Right. I'm gonna click back. 2 pages, and let's see.
That's not Rocky IV montage material, sir.
Hey, this is a great question. John Paponis, 2 minutes ago, he asked, hey, what's going on with Not Productive? Also, kudos for correctly pronouncing my last name, which I hope I did. I don't know, Paponis? Pipanos?
How would he know you pronounced his last name correctly?
I don't know. But maybe he just assumes I'm a smart guy. He can tell. He knows that I can, you know, phonetically figure out where he's coming at. But yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit maybe about Not Productive and like kind of what it is and like what the idea behind it was and where it's at?
Well, basically, I used to be part of a website called That Guy with the Glasses, which was it's a pretty big site. It's mostly well known for the nostalgia critic, who is kind of like I don't know. I think he averages around 300,000 or 400,000 views a video. So definitely, you know, generates a lot of traffic. I don't know. He might even get more than that. I don't know what his exact figures are, but I know that he did very well. I was on the site for a while as a distressed watcher. I did shows like Trailer Failure, which is a fucking show where I just dissected trailers. I did a lot of movie reviews on there. But you know, at some point I just got kicked off of the site because they came to me and basically said like they didn't think I was good for advertisers because I had controversial opinions. So I was just like, well, okay, whatever. So I left their site. We'd kind of gotten in a dispute, too, because I did this video, like, top 10 gayest music videos of the 80s. And I made the gayest video ever. Like, it was just all, like, the gayness of the 80s that I could find and just put it in a video. And, like, you know, just, you know, big, muscular men fucking, like, playing with each other and shit. And it's like, okay. And they're
You're not
like,
saying it's bad. You're just saying it's
no,
a
I
little
even
more
fucking
erotic.
explicitly say, like, it's awesome that the 80s were so fucking gay and no one noticed until, like, the 90s. People look back like, holy shit, that was gay. You know, I think that's awesome. But they were like, no, we think the fans of the site might not like it, and we think they might put homophobic comments, and we don't want the site to look bad. So I'm like, well, fuck you. You know, you really think that little of your fucking audience? So anyway, I decided to do my own. I decided to make a site better than theirs. So that's what that's what Not Productive pretty much is.
Where is it at now? Are you close? Are you still kind of far away?
You know, I mean, it's pissed me off because I'm so close to the fucking finish line on the project. Like, I feel like I'm like millimeters from fucking breaking the tape, but it's just like such a bitch to get these little nitpicky final touches done. So, but you know, it's pretty much there. I just have to fucking tighten a few screws and try to get the fucking thing presentable.
Cool. Well, obviously,
I mean, if you go to notproductive.com, you can get updates on the fucking site. I update there regularly. I have screen caps of shit that's going on the site, and I have a pretty detailed explanation of what changes remain to be done. So people can check that out there.
I used to do that on my blog. Like, hey guys, it's still coming. Like, it says under construction. Here's a screenshot. I'm doing things. I'm not just dicking around.
I would say pretty much like at least once a day. It's like, where the fuck is Not Productive? You fucking scam artist piece of shit. I'm like, it's fucking coming. Like, it's a big project. It's gonna take a fucking while.
Did you accept donations for this project? Is that where? So people are like, what the hell?
That's why they're on my ass.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I don't know what they think I'm gonna do. They think I'm gonna be like, I'm Not Productive ain't coming out. Sorry.
Sorry, I was never productive about it. It was one big scam.
Never fucking happened.
Just seen it coming.
I just took money.
Jesters of Chaos, which is a band
I would never
name.
recover from that. So it's stupid to even think I would do that.
Yeah, it would damage your brand forever. You'd be gone.
Exactly.
You'd have to wear that helmet at all times.
No possible way. I'd have to wear it like this.
That's actually, that kind of looks Daft Punk a little bit when you wear it in front. That's kind of nice. I like that. Jesters of Chaos, which if it's not a band, it better be in the next year. TJ,
name your band Jesters of Chaos. We are Jesters of Chaos.
It would have to be metal, right? Like, there's no way that could be like Renaissance music or something.
Yeah, you can't be Jesters of Chaos and be like, dun, 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 dun,
check out our new loot. TJ, what drugs and other sinful activities do you recommend, or are drugs? Oh, no. Let me read this question again. TJ, what drugs or other sinful activities do you recommend? Are drugs sinful? So that's a two-parter. Are drugs sinful, and whether or not they are, do you recommend them?
I mean, I can't fucking say that. I mean, I don't want to recommend drugs like, yeah, drugs. But, like, if you're looking for a new perspective on things, yeah, certain drugs can be helpful. And I don't think they're sinful. I think that's just silly. I mean, there's certain drugs that you definitely should avoid. Like, we pretty much know what those are. I mean, no one's like, I just casually smoke meth every once in a while. You know, so, I mean, like, you know what drugs are going to get their hooks in you and which ones aren't. So just use the ones that you judge to be safe and do your research. And if you want to do it, do it.
TJ, who is the most interesting person you've ever talked to, besides clearly myself?
Well, I have a lot of conversations where I stare into the mirror and talk to myself. So those are probably the most interesting, because that's when I'm the most honest, because I don't have to bullshit myself about anything. I can just be like, fuck you, you fucking sellout faggot, and be like, well, yeah, well, at least I'm making money.
Whoa. Yeah, you get mad at yourself is what you do.
I'm angry, you know? There's a war that goes on, like, you know, because I mean, I always have to walk that line between, like, okay, I gotta be somewhat commercially viable, but at the same time, I can't be a fucking pussy that just like, hey guys, this is the comment of the day, isn't it fucking special? Yeah. You know, so I'm like,
Deadhead.
So I gotta balance.
You gotta keep it on the level. Keep it on the level as much as you can. Thread the needle, if you will. Deadhead 345 IFY.
The final Grateful Dead fan alive.
Yeah, well, which is interesting because his question is, do you listen to any rap or hip hop? So
maybe not. Well, I don't know. I listened. I like Immortal Technique. I liked early Eminem. I like Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Who doesn't like Del, the funky Homo
I've
sapien?
heard, I like, a few things here and there that are kind of like a little bit more intelligent. But I mean, I'd be lying if I said I heard like Immortal Technique, and I'm like, oh my god, there's like this whole world of like underground alternative rap that I could be listening to, and I better like pursue this because I'm just like. I'm lazy. I'm just like, whatever. I'm fucking 90% of what I listen to is just Marilyn Manson over and over again. So,
Fair.
I'm like, I don't really need that much other music, honestly.
I mean, I know nobody in the audience cares, but I went through my phase. I went through my like hip hop phase in high school where it was just the coolest shit, and now I don't care. I don't care. Myers Jennifer, I think that's how I can pronounce this name. If you had the option to kill one useless pop star and get away with it, which would it be?
I don't know.
You don't want to kill the most popular one because that's kind of a honeypot. You're keeping everyone like really enthralled with that one. Just maybe kill off like the one that is like the least talented or the most obnoxious in real life. I don't know. I'd go Nicki Minaj. I'm always going to go Nicki Minaj.
The problem there is that I don't pay attention to that whole thing. The only reason I know about Justin Bieber is because he has this weird transcendence where it's like, even though I don't listen to that music, I see shit about him all over the place.
Yeah. You mentioned that in your video.
Sometimes it's people hating on him. Sometimes it's shit like Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. What's their fucking relationships? I'm like, I don't. Why is this here?
Yeah.
I don't understand why this is reaching me. This seems like something that should be localized to a very specific group that gives a shit because no one else does.
I always choose Nicki Minaj for this question, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm like you. I don't pay attention, but every once in a while I'll be in like an apartment store or at a mall or something, and I suddenly realize like I'm getting annoyed or like I'm irritated, and every single time that's happened in the recent history of this, I stop and I tune in and I realize that Nicki Minaj is on the radio because she's got an annoying voice and her songs are annoying, and I realize it's like actively pissing me off. And at that point, I realize.
What I think happens too is it's like, damn it, I had something to say but I forgot what it was. Oh well.
That's Nicki Minaj will do that to you. It'll do that to you every time. Okay, next question. Trying to parse through some of the names I haven't seen. Sensitive Beat asks, Amazing Atheist, do you like
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh,
never mind.
Stop it.
Hold that thought. It's kind of weird how we can sit here and talk about like killing pop stars, but at the same time, like Chris Brown is like the most hated man ever just for like roughing one up a little bit.
Yeah, well, because you can't let them live. You can't make them suffer.
If Rihanna had never been punched and I got on here and said, like, I wish I could kill Rihanna, people would be like, yeah. But then when she just gets beaten, people are like, why would you beat Rihanna? That's wrong.
That's a good point. I mean, we're clearly huge hypocrites. That makes me a hypocrite as well, because I would
human race.
totally kill Nicki Minaj. I mean, maybe you edit that question to just be, if you could just stop a certain pop star from ever having existed, what would it be? I would say Nicki Minaj. I don't know. I don't think you know what you would say. I think you got to take that on a day by day. Like on Tuesdays, it might be Bieber. You might just be like, man, I fucking hate Bieber on Tuesdays. Could be Britney another day. You don't know. There's tons of questions still coming. First off, we have 9 minutes left. I talked TJ into taking this for an hour of these questions. We might go longer. We'll see how it goes, but just so the audience is aware, in 9 minutes we might be shutting this thing down. Don't leave or anything. Continue to watch. But
keep watching.
Please keep watching.
Don't stop.
Mega Comedy Inc. asks, are there any concepts or portions of religion that you agree with?
It's a very difficult question to answer because obviously so many religions incorporate just general like
be nice.
Like, it should be like, yeah, it's like, yeah, be kind to each other. Don't steal. Don't kill each other. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, but is that really something that belongs to the religion, or is that just something it's borrowing? And to me, the stuff that actually is the religion is the unbelievable stuff. It's when you're accepting things on the basis of faith, which basically means even though the evidence of my own eyes and anything that can be proven empirically says no, I say yes. That to me is the religious, element. And no, none of that is valuable.
I have two updates from the comments section. One, a very good point from Pretty Chainsaw. If you kill any pop star, they'll start playing their music more in remembrance, which is totally true. So that would totally backfire. Also, Jesters of Chaos is back to let us know that Jesters of Chaos is actually a band from the 80s. They're a punk band, and if you want to listen to them, the song Deception and Lies is real good. So,
all right. So we just gave some 80s punk band a little bump there. Deception and Lies. Listen to that shit.
They're going to have their resurgence. They're going to chalk it up to you. They're going to be interviewed like, what brought you guys back to the forefront? They're going to be like, some fucking dude in a helmet, amazing atheist, figured it all out.
You had a person that just almost came into your room there. I saw them for a split second behind you.
There's a person in my room? You know what? Yeah, that's my live-in lady. And I turn it so that you can't see the door, and looks like I rotated it around too much. That's highly embarrassing. I wanted everyone to think I just was like this awesome bachelor and I live alone. But no, I'm totally codependent. Let's see. Some of these questions are just completely
retarded.
Awful. I mean, just
completely fucking bad.
Some guys like, how do I make?
Would you fuck a porcupine for $1 million?
I actually saw that earlier. It was pretty close. It was like, what would you do if you had to fuck a porcupine for $1 million? Let's see. So we're gonna click next here. Hey, MC Welfare, which is an
MC Welfare. Name. That's not politically correct.
And that's a rapper from the 80s for sure. So
MC Welfare.
MC Welfare asks, why did you cut your long ass hair from back in the day? As if you have to just constantly stick with the same hairstyle.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know. It was just a pain in the ass. I mean, it's long hair is a pain in the ass. I'm a lazy fuck. I gotta make my life as easy as I can.
Who was that?
Scotty. He's my brother. My brother is watching a football game at the moment. So.
What game?
He's rather invested. The Saints versus the Falcons. So
actually, somebody on the Twitter thread, which I'm totally ignoring because no one was tweeting, asked if you would be watching the Saints game, and I didn't know if you were a Saints fan. I didn't know if that was like.
If I wasn't doing this, I probably would be, but I'm doing this. So.
Well, thank you for spending your time with your fans and myself instead of watching the Saints fucking lose, which is what it sounds like they're doing.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like that.
Let's see.
I can still hear him groaning. He's like, "Fucking goddamn."
Let's see. I could probably do 2 more questions, as if I have to answer anything.
Yeah. Bring them. Bring them the fuck on. We had one person in the room that fucking came on camera.
Let's bring her in here.
You're like, it's gonna be you and 8 people on camera.
Yeah, that was the original format. I thought I could get like 8 people to join the room. I ended up only getting 1 person to join the room, and then I kicked him out right after his
like,
question.
Fuck you fucking echoing piece of shit.
Yeah, it's hard because in the past that we've done these Hangouts, people don't realize that if they don't have headphones on like I'm fashioning, or if they don't have a microphone like you're doing, and all their sound is up, it creates like this feedback loop, and it's super distracting. So thank you, guy who came into the room and was brave enough to ask the question. You're awesome. I'm sorry I kicked you out of the room so quickly.
He's lying. He's lying to your ass. You should have known that shit.
I am. I'm sorry. Let's
Bring
see.
Your questions on. Let's do this.
TJ, have you ever met Adam from Your Movie Sucks in real life? I don't know if that's somebody you know or what.
That is a guy I know. He does movie reviews. They're really excellent. I've never met him in real life, but he's a close internet friend, so yeah.
Cool. TJ, have you ever watched much of The Daily Show? No, I've never heard that.
I've never really been a big fan of The Daily Show, honestly. I don't really watch it too much. Hey,
you got a dog. You got a dog in the background.
A random ass dog. We can get a better question than that. Let's do something better.
Yeah, I'm just
Give me
calling these out.
Give me something with some fucking meat to it. Someone asked something good.
TJ, if you could pick any person, alive or dead, to be the new president of the United States, who would it be? I would pick George Carlin. So you can't have George Carlin. He's out. Although it would be amazing.
Tom Waits.
Also amazing. He would just change like the State Department to like the
I just want to see what kind of fucked up art project he would turn the presidency into.
Misanthropedia is. I'm going to give her one more because actually now 3 people have all asked the same question. What do you think about Noam Chomsky?
Chomsky.
Do you read any of his stuff? Are you aware of him?
I've read a lot of Chomsky. I've more listened to Chomsky, because I mean it's really hard though because he is very boring. He's really
dry.
Boring. He's like
dry.
Well, you gotta realize. I'm like, oh my god. Have like an ounce of enthusiasm, please.
No,
Holy shit.
It's been sucked out of him from all of the crimes of the United States.
I guess so. I guess fucking so. But he does have interesting things to say, but he is a very difficult man to listen to. And he's a very difficult man to read. He's very dry in print as well.
Yeah. I do appreciate Noam Chomsky. Like I did my hip-hop phase, I also had my Noam Chomsky phase in high school where I thought he was really just blowing my mind. I guess he'll always blow my mind, but you don't have to keep with it. Suckabliana, I think that's how I'm pronouncing it. Suckabliana 2 says, pick my question, TJ. Other than going from libertarian to liberal, have you undergone any other major changes in your life over the last couple of years? Or have you gone, like, I want to amend that question to be like, what was like the biggest thing that has changed from when you began your YouTube channel to like now in terms of like your personal views on things? That's a loaded question.
I mean, that question is that's a tall order of a question to answer off the cuff because
you asked for it, man. You were like, bring on the questions.
There's a lot that's changed in my circumstances in my life and in the way I view the world. I mean, I can't just distill that to some easy answer. It's impossible. I mean, I guess if you want some sort of like brusque, broad strokes, kind of like, well, it used to be like this and now it's like this. I mean, really, I think I've been on a quest to find some sort of common ground with humanity where I have some sort of empathy for my species. And I feel like because like right now, I mean, even now, even though I've made progress, it could still be like asteroids headed for Earth. I'd be like, well, about fucking time. But I'm trying to find that mentality where I can keep, I don't have to compromise intellectually, but I can still come around to the point of view that I love my species and care about them, because I don't see a lot that is I mean, I don't know, people just seem, I guess I'm really part of the problem too, but it just seems like everyone just wants to heap hatred and scorn on each other, and it's just like a constant one-upsmanship with everything and everybody, and every social group has to have like, yeah, team this and team that. Like even like when it comes like movies, you had that fucking Twilight phenomenon where it's like, we're Team Edward and we're Team Jacob, and it's like, why are you dividing yourselves based on this fucking meaningless preference? Why is this so fucking important to you?
It's almost as if we naturally divide into tribes.
Yeah,
I mean, we're some sort of a primitive ape race or something.
The thing is, I mean, pretty much the only difference now is like we divide into tribes based on, well, this person believes this, this, and this. Whereas it used to just be like, we all live together, we're all in this small group, even though we don't all think the same, we have to function as some sort of coherent, system. But now people just gather into little enclaves against one another, and it's like, okay, well, this is my group and that's your group, and we don't agree, so we can never fucking agree on anything ever. There's never any sort of mutual benefit to cooperation with one another. You're just a horrible piece of shit and an abomination from fucking the word go, and we have nothing in common, and anything you think we have in common is but a superficial similarity because we are different to the fucking core. And that seems to be the mentality, and I just can't fucking... I mean, I'm part of it, and I fucking see that I'm part of it, but I really can't do anything to change it. So it's hard for me to look at that and then be like, well, we're a great species. Aren't we amazing? Look at us. Gee, aren't we neat?
That was Amazing Atheist Live right there. That was the rant that I was looking for on this whole hangout. This is the last question. It's a two-parter. I don't remember who asked it, but I'm going to combine two quick questions, or one quick question and one not-so-quick question. First of all, what is that dog's name behind you?
I don't think
or was behind you?
His name is Yujiro. He was named after an anime character named Yujiro Hanma from a terrible show called Baki the Grappler, which is dumber than Dragon Ball Z by far, and just completely silly and horrible. But it was still like awesome show though, like because all it is like dudes beating the shit out of each other, and just horrible anime writing and just fucking, it's awesome.
That's great. I really didn't expect that. I expected like his name's George or like
there's a scene in the fucking show where Yujiro Hanma he's about to get into a fight, and the earth, there's like a fucking earthquake, and he punches the ground to stop the earthquake. It was like, fuck you, tectonic plates, whap! And they just like, holy shit, Yujiro Hanma's here. We can't fucking shake right now.
I love it when like anime, like not only does it like totally defy like the laws of physics or whatever, but even like in that world, it still defies like logic.
That's
like how do you punch an earthquake away?
Because, like there was never anything that indicated that character was that powerful. Like
they were just spitballing like, in the writing room.
Because it's not like Dragon Ball Z where they can fly and shit. This is just supposed to be. They're supposed to be like human beings that exist in this world. And, you know, they have extraordinary physical abilities that you really couldn't see in this world, but ostensibly that's what it's supposed to be. And then all of a sudden someone punches the ground to stop an earthquake. You're like, what the fuck? That's awesome.
I just wanted to let you know that
that's something like we would never do in America, like because we would just be like, that's too stupid.
You don't ever.
But they're just like, fuck it. Who gives a shit if it's stupid? It's still cool. And that's kind of like why I admire that spirit of just bold creativity, even if it's undisciplined as fuck. There's like a certain charm to that. That's why a lot of people like bad movies, because a lot of them are very imaginative because they just throw out the rules of logic and reason. Yeah,
they're just pushing the limits on what defines bad. I wanted to let you know that 26 minutes ago, a Twitter user by the name of The Average Grunt did begin hashtagging Universal Dick Care. He's the only one that I know of, but
what the fuck? You guys
Universal Dick Care is happening.
Universal Dick Care.
I'm gonna click the hashtag really quick. It's actually 4 people. 4 people have now done it so far.
4. How many viewers we have?
I mean, we have a lot of viewers. I don't know what the exact number is, but from the comments, I'm guessing we have more than 4. So
yeah, come on, you fucking pieces of shit.
You guys are...
You gotta get that trending. Because, like, imagine... Okay, you gotta give them incentive to get it trending. Like, imagine when people just see that. They're just going, let's see what's trending. Universal Dick Care. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'll say to the audience, definitely save Universal Dick Care for later. Like, maybe the healthcare debate will come out again, like, in another 6 months. It'll come back to the fore. Trend that shit. Get Universal Dick Care out there. Have it, like, right below Universal Healthcare, and people will know what's going on. Yeah. And they will credit you, sir, with that. Last question.
You know what's really weird about being a fucking internet semi-celebrity is, like, sometimes I'll find something obscure and then I'll mention it, like, somewhere, like, yeah, I'll put on my blog or something, like, yeah, look at this, remember that shit? And then the next thing I know, like, it'll be on, like, the front page of Reddit, like, remember this? I'm like, god damn, I could have just fucking got on the front page of Reddit if I just would have done it there.
Damn it. Have you ever...
Obviously, I'm the one that introduced it back into the popular psyche for a second, and because, like, it's, like, the next day, it's fucking somewhere bigger, and I'm like, fuck. I should have made a video about that shit. I should have been like, remember this obscure thing from the 90s? People were like, I do remember that. Yay, thumbs up.
Yeah, and then you could have been, like, referenced on Reddit, and people, you know, Reddit would have been like, go to this guy's video, remember that? And then you got tons more views, but oh well.
It just didn't happen.
Somebody asked a while ago, I think it's actually the most relevant question for the end of this, because you were just kind of talking about being a famous, semi-famous internet celebrity. Have you ever been recognized like in the real world? Has anyone ever been like, oh, hey, shit, amazing, like not like you went to some event that like maybe you would have gone to, but like you're just like out fucking getting ice cream and somebody's like, oh, hey, amazing atheist.
Yeah, I've been recognized plenty of times. I've even had to do like the thing where I get photos taken with people, you know, which is hard because I usually have to lean down because I'm 6'7", 6'6", so I mean most people. And
they're like basically children.
Yeah, you know, so I have to be all like, hey, yeah, you know. Then,
what did you do like the last time? Like, what was the last time? Do you remember getting recognized? Has it ever been weird? Like, has anyone ever gotten weird?
Oh, it's been weird. I remember this one time I was in the bookstore and this guy came up to me and he was like, What do you do for a living? I'm like, I don't know, just kind of stuff. Aren't you that guy? You're that YouTube guy. Like, holy shit, I'm gonna get shot. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'll be right back. And then he left. I'm like, holy shit, we got to get the fuck out of here. I don't like this.
What was he going back to do? Like, what was he like?
I don't know. I didn't fucking stick around. I wasn't that curious. I'm like, fuck this shit. This guy might be going to his car to get.
You'd have to be, you'd have to be a complete idiot to stick around.
He was
like
giving
somebody that weird.
Like he had all the signals of like I'm fucked up inside, and like, you know, because like you can always tell crazy people by their eyes. Like, you know, someone might say something crazy, you can look in their eyes and be like, he's just fucking around. But some people will just be like, and that's when the dolphins told me to kill. I'm like, holy shit. No.
And that wasn't just like a random word association. You actually meant it, and then that's actually terrible.
Yeah, that's not just like he's just being random and quirky. That's like he's fucking insane. Because he said it with the eyes, you know, because they'll look at you like, I'm crazy. So you can't fuck with that kind of person.
It's all in the eyes. You don't have to know anything else other than their eyes, and you can know that they're crazy. Hey, 2 more people just trended universal dick care, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. African stepchild says, if my balls fall off or shower in a paper shredder, I know who has my back. Universal dick care. That's fantastic. Well, that actually brings us up to 10 minutes past our allotted time. So I think we should leave it there. Do you have anything that you would like to say to your adoring or kind of self-loathing fans that love you so much?
Kind of self-loathing. You know, I mean, I don't, that's, what am I going to fucking, like, hey, you know, you guys were fucking something just now asking questions. That was good. The way you typed out sentences and put question marks at the end of it, that was good.
How do you feel?
What I want to say is, you know, I mean, stay fucking strong because, you know, the world's fucked up and there's all kinds of horrible shit happening all the time, and you're going to constantly fucking look around you and just wonder if everyone's lost their mind. So, you know, just hang tight and fucking realize that there's other people out there like you that aren't fucking, you know, insane, that actually fucking look at the world through a somewhat reasonable lens. And, you know, because, I mean, like, I get a lot of messages from people who fucking say they're suicidal and shit just because I think I attract that kind of person to an extent. And, you know, it bothers me because I never want to see anyone fucking have to give up on life or, you know, just because, I mean, it's really a struggle that we're in. I mean, I don't know what the exact nature of the struggle is, but I know it's there. And I hate to see anyone decide that it's not worth it, because I believe that it is. I mean, I see enough potential in the species that I can't give up entirely. So that's, I guess, my final message.
You know, stay strong, humanity. Don't let the bastards get you down, I think could be summed it up.
Pretty much.
You know, like if you want to put that on a bumper sticker or something, start selling amazing atheist bumper stickers.
Bastards get you down.
Well, thank you very much for joining us and giving us your time and not going and watching a Saints game with Scotty, your extremely angry sounding brother. Thank you, TJ. Thank you to the audience for giving me so many questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. Perhaps there will be another time, another place. I definitely skipped some questions that I really liked. So thank you all. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you, TJ. Good night, everybody. Peace. Peace the fuck out.